We're going to recap what we have ingested via the messages this weekend. So session 1, we got to hear from the amazing Austin. Thank you, Todd. And we heard that Jesus is better than anything you're holding on to, right? Yeah? Yes. Jesus is better than anything that you're holding on to, anything you're finding your identity in. If that thing was taken away, you still have Jesus, right? Session 2, keep your eyes on Jesus. Your storm isn't stronger than the one who knows your name. Ashley brought out the importance of your name. It's like the most personal thing about you. And God is the one who knows your name through all of it, through the storm. Session 3, our amazing Megan. When you love someone, you care about what they care about, right? Yes. So, care about feeding God's sheep. Go and feed the sheep. How many of you have been protecting your little baby egg sheep? How's your egg baby sheeps doing? Doing okay? Not so great? All right, that's okay. Hear me when I say, it may be broken, but it's not forgotten. It still has a purpose, all right? Your little baby egg sheeps. Okay, I'm glad you got to do that. Well, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Think about a moment in your life when someone asked you a question and it felt bigger than the actual question, right? So example, your coach is about to put you in and it's like, are you ready for this? Are you ready? You're up. Or maybe it's theater. Like you're the understudy, someone goes out and they're like, you got it? All right, let's go. Or maybe your friend says, hey, can I trust you? Like that question is bigger than the words, right? It's about the relationship that's happening. There's something more, something deeper than just the question that's being asked. And today we're going to dive into one of those questions that Jesus asked Peter. A big question that was really deeper than the words he was saying. Now, I was recently asked one of those questions. Just a few days ago, I know you guys got to see Ashley and Megan's like early relationship baby pictures with them and their sweet little hubbies. And as much as I love the question of when my husband asked me to marry him, this is not that question that I'm referring to. So I'm not going to show a picture of that. I'm going to show a picture of me and Megan. Yay! On Thursday, Megan and I completed DCOM. DCOM is a big session in the United Methodist Church where we go through like 4 to 5 hours of questions, y'all. All the questions. And we did it, and we passed, and we get to be official pastors. What? Super exciting, super exciting. And one of the questions that was asked in this, go Mega Boss. One of the questions that was asked was like just off the bat, like they started with this question. So, what led you here? And this wasn't, like, that's the question. What led you here? This wasn't like a GPS question. It wasn't like, so what maps did you use? What side streets did you use? This was like, hey, tell me your life story of how you got to here wanting to be a pastor. And honestly, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, even 6 years ago, if I was going to be a pastor, I would have laughed at you. I'd have been like, nah, babe, that's not me. That's not for me. I just didn't, I'd always wanted to go to like seminary, but I didn't think I was ever going to be a pastor. For the past 20 years, I've been doing this. I did get pictures of me and my husband up. I met my husband doing theater. I've been doing professional theater for 20 years. Sorry, I had to throw a Colts picture in there because we're going to beat the Chiefs today. But for 20 years, I've been a professional actor. That's how I met my husband. We had kids. One of them is here. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been teaching theater. I just thought that ship had sailed. There was no way that my world was going to shift, and then like this big thing called a global pandemic happened, and like my life was turned upside down, and I jumped into seminary and I started working at Resurrection, and it was amazing and beautiful. But man, was it a life shift. And so the questionnaire was asking me about like what my future goals are as a pastor. And I said, well, I don't think I ever want to be like a pastor. Like I don't want to like lead a church like fully on my own. And he's like, oh man, I hate to break it to you, Leah, but you've already been doing that. Your whole life is leading the church. That's your life, because we are the church. So let's jump into this question, y'all. Here we go. Now, when Jesus came to the area of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say the human one or the Son of God is? He's like, hey, what is the tea? Like, what's social media saying about me? Who do people say that the Son of God is? And they replied, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, still others, maybe Jeremiah or one of the other prophets. And he said, and what about you? Who do you say that I am? And Simon Peter said, you are the Christ. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Then Jesus replied, happy are you, Simon, son of Jonah, because no human has shown this to you, right? Rather, my Father who is in heaven has shown this to you. I tell you that you are Peter, which means, by the way, rock. Take that little nugget. Peter means rock. And I'll build my church on this rock. So Jesus is asking the disciples, who do you say the Son of Man is? And they throw out all these rumors that they're hearing. But then when Jesus turns to Peter, he answers. And he says, yeah, no, I believe that you are the Son of God. He's stepping out in courage, right? Courage is hard. It's hard to put yourself out there and just speak boldly. I think you can all relate, right? Breathe. Yeah? It's hard to answer boldly and put yourself out there. And this is what Peter was doing. And this is a defining moment in his life. Peter isn't just like quoting a textbook. He didn't learn it somewhere. He didn't learn it from seminary or youth group. He wasn't hearing a rumor. He was saying from this revelation that happened in his heart and his life, he's saying, God has brought this, has awakened this in me. I do believe that you are who you say you are. You are Jesus. You change lives. You're the Son of God. And that is amazing. And I hope you all have had that moment, that kind of revelation when you're like, God, I believe that you are who you say you are. A lot of days I can walk in doubt and I can go through a lot of stuff. But those moments when you're in worship or you're under the stars or with your friends or whatever, and you're like, God, you are who you say you are. Yes, Jesus, I believe you are who you say you are. So he declares who Jesus is. And then Jesus responds by declaring who Peter is, right? We know the importance of a name. And he is saying, you are Peter, you, and on you, my rock, I will build my church. Listen to this. Identity leads to purpose. And knowing that Jesus is your identity leads to knowing who you are. Remember when Austin brought out, like, what if that thing that is your identity, whatever it is that you were like, this makes me who I am, was just taken from you? Like, you could not do it or you could not be that anymore. Who are you? Do you know that your purpose doesn't lie in that? My purpose doesn't lie in me as an actor or a wife or a mother or even a pastor. My purpose, my identity lies in the fact that I am seen, known, and loved by Jesus. That's it. That's the thing. And no one can take that away. Nothing can take that away from you, your purpose, your identity. And then Jesus tells Peter, and then eventually all of his followers, I'm building something, and you're a part of it. Y'all, I know resurrection is big and beautiful, but the church, the big capital C, is not a building, right? It's not a brand. It's not a club that you join, a team that you join. It's a movement of God's love in the world. And y'all, it's been happening for thousands of years. It started with one man, Jesus, and then it led to 12 disciples and spread to more teachers and disciples and then houses and churches and communities and neighborhoods and countries and spread. And thousands of years later, guess what? You are right here. You are connected in this story. If we were putting it all together, Jesus, ... you. Because you are the church. You are a part of this story. You are a part of the movement. And that is beautiful. And Jesus is inviting you to join this movement by loving people the way that he loves us. Sacrificially, compassionately, courageously, and consistently. Sacrificially, compassionately, courageously, and consistently. Jesus doesn't ask us to do anything he hasn't already done, y'all. Think about that. What you walk through, what you experience, all those emotions and feelings and fears, Jesus lived in this flesh body. Jesus experienced that as well. And so he's not asking you to love like this, having not had struggled with it, and then showing us how to do it. And Peter didn't always get it right? We learned that. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. That just one of the many things he messed up on, right? He's not perfect. And the church isn't built by people who are perfect. It's built by people who keep showing up, who keep showing God's love. That's what it is. Y'all, because I am not perfect. My son will tell you, I am not perfect. And there are many days, in fact, going through seminary, going through TCOM even, I was like, am I worthy of this? And right here, Jesus is saying, yeah, you are. Because God makes us worthy. So what does all this have to do with you? How are you putting this into your life as we leave, right? So we're not just reading about Peter's moment. We hinted to that. This is your moment too. You're a part of this. You're invited to be a part of this. And Jesus is asking you the same question. So I'm asking you, Jesus is asking you, who do you say I am? Who do you say Jesus is? Not who your parents think he is, right? Not who your church or your youth pastor or your director, not who your mentors say that he is. Who do you say he is? Not even your friend, right? Next to you. Who do you say he is? And your answer shapes the way you live. If you believe that Jesus truly is the Son of God, who he says he is, that Jesus is the one who saves us, heals us, forgives, restores, and guides and loves, then this is a way for you. If Jesus is God, and that love changes everything. And I know it's hard to believe that every single day. And that's okay. You get to choose every single day. Jesus, who do I say you are in my life? Is he changing your life? How are you seeing that? And how do you live that out? How do we live that out to people? We love like Jesus, especially, this is hard, I'm sorry to say it, but especially when it's inconvenient. Right? Not the easy kindness that comes naturally, but actual sacrificial love. The kind that is helping someone who might annoy you, right? Standing up for someone who is left out, sitting with that person who is alone at lunch or elsewhere, choosing forgiveness instead of gossip, right? Let me tell you from experience, forgiveness goes a lot further and it makes your life a lot better than jumping into that gossip pool. We let Jesus shape our identity, right? Culture will say, go and define yourself, right? And Jesus says, let me tell you who you are. You are chosen, you are loved, you are called. No matter what society or culture or the people around you want to say, you are chosen, you are called, you are loved. We build the church wherever we are. In your hallways, in your cafeterias, in your classrooms, in your teams, in your clubs, in your shows, in your group chats, in your text threads, in your Snapchats. You're building the church. Did you know that? You build a church wherever you create a space where people can experience the love of God. Even if they've never even stepped into a sanctuary, never even stepped into a building church, they're experiencing church by every time they interact with you. And we respond to God's love daily. That consistent thing of showing up, not just here at retreat or serve trip, not even just Wednesday nights at youth group, and not just when we're feeling emotional, right? But daily, every day, even just praying for 1 minute. Like literally, whether it's in your car, whether it's when you wake up in the morning, just set a timer for 60 seconds and say, okay, God, who do I say you are? You are the God who changes my life. What does that mean? That means that you give me my identity. You say that I'm chosen, that I'm called, that I'm loved. How am I going to live that out in the world? I'm going to start loving people the way you love me. Do you see how that works? And we start every day reminding ourselves of that truth. Maybe ask Jesus, show me someone today to love. Make that your prayer. Show me someone who I can love today. Maybe it's saying no to things that take you away from God, right? Those things that are stealing your attention. I mean, I don't believe that God brought a global pandemic just so that I could go to seminary, but it sure did get my attention to say, it's time, Leah. Step out of that boat like Peter and walk on the water and go for it. Pointing others toward hope instead of cynicism or fear, that's a big one. It's easy to step into that, just like cynicism. That's basically the yeah, whatever, nothing is ever going to be good. Or like nobody actually cares about me, or fear, right? But choosing hope instead, living your life daily from a place of hope, that changes. It changes people's lives. And I think that sometimes we've noticed this week, and we can read about Peter. So when you guys go back, maybe in confirmation class or maybe in youth group or whatever, and you read about Peter, remember, he was just a fisherman, y'all. And he made a lot of mistakes. He was just super ordinary. And Jesus chose him and saw in him who he really is. He says, on this rock I will build my church, not on perfection. And God is doing that in you, y'all. On your faith, on your willingness to follow him, on your willingness to love others like he did. So here's the question. What is keeping you from believing that you are the church? What is keeping you from believing that? What is keeping you from asking your friend to youth group? Is it cynicism? Is it fear? What is keeping you from loving that person and saying, hey, God loves you, man? What's keeping you from that? Last night, something really beautiful happened. When we had worship outside, Zay led us to go spread out and spend time in our own spaces. And we did, and it was really cool. And then music was going, we were singing, and slowly we came back together. Right? Nobody prompted us. You just instinctively did that. You know why? Because we're made for community. Our creation knows that, but we let cynicism and fear override it and tamp it down. What if you didn't? What if you lived every day knowing that you are meant for community, that you are growing the church every single day? Y'all came back together, and it was so cool to see. I loved seeing you guys do life this week. Todd and I challenged you to snap some pictures of how you see God, both in vast ways and in very personal ways. And I know we didn't get all of your pictures, and I know you saw it with your own eyeball pictures, and that's great. Keep doing that. But we did get some pictures, and I want to challenge you. We're going to take a look at it. Todd put together this late last night. Okay, I'm going to prompt you to take a look at it and see, even if it's not your face, see yourself in these images. See how people see God, both big and small. Watch without judgment. Watch with hope. See the church growing in all of these pictures. Yeah. See the joy. See the effort. See the showing up for each other. See God. Awesome. Yeah. Give it up. I'm going to invite our band to come up. As we're closing, I just want to ask you these questions. So take a moment to close your eyes and set your hands aside, maybe on the ground or on your knees. Relax your shoulders. Let go of those things that are saying no. And say, yeah, I'm your creation, God. Jesus is asking, who do you say I am? Your answer to that isn't just a sentence. Your answer is your life. It's your life, guys. Your life shaped by love. Your life that shares love with other people, life that helps build God's kingdom right here on earth as it is in heaven. And you don't have to be a Bible scholar or a theologian or a pastor. None of that. Because guess what? You've been doing it all along. You're building the church. You're being the church. You don't have to have perfect faith. You just have to show up and say yes. A heart that is willing to say, yes, Jesus, you are who you say you are. God, I want my life to reflect your love. God, who holds the galaxies, holds my heart. God, who spun everything into motion, cares about my very breath. God, help us be the church. Help us know that we've already been doing it. And we're not alone because we are created for community. We're connected through thousands and thousands of years of people who keep showing up and saying, yes, I want to be the church. I want to love like God. People like Peter, people like you. God, show us where we can step into living into that reality even more. Move us from this place. It's not just a Sunday morning faith. It's an everyday. We give you the glory, God. And everyone says amen.